My boyfriend and I went to a disco to show off, but this stupid sliding door must down on me and met my boyfriend is for the outside. The door signaled me to look up and there was a sign saying, "No entry for women haters." This piece of metal dared to disdain me, and at that moment, I found out my boyfriend had already picked up 2 girls. I was so angry, I almost spat blood and got sent out of shape. Suddenly, Chasek head hopped out from the marker in front, and after letting out a silly laugh, he poured out 2 cans of cola. Duly depressed, I gulped it down in 2 swigs and let out a satisfying "fuck." Just as I was about to throw away the empty can, this old woman frantically gestured at my feet, and I immediately understood what she meant. A pull tab was placed under the heel, making it into high heels. The color matched perfectly. Pulled out their shoelace and took out the shoehorns. It was simply perfect. The head swayed wildly while doing the dance, and the old lady motioned for me to rip the pants. I had long disliked these worn-out pants, tore them to shreds, and then hid them behind the old lady's bottom, along with used the pant leg to make a tube top. The old lady was so stunned by my slick move that she nodded repeatedly. Then, after some intense meditation with a constipated expression, she pulled out a heap of candy. Although I felt a bit uneasy, I devoured the candy without hesitation. I stuck all the candy wrappers onto my body with saliva. Looked absolutely amazing. Next, I made a bow with the candy wrappers and then sucked some candy on my ears. But this big round face still wasn't satisfied. The old woman glared with her eyes wide open and pulled out a pile of chocolate. I immediately understood what she meant. She wanted me to turn into a black pearl. Although I was already quite dark, at the old Zango, being dark and had many flaws, I rubbed the chocolate on my skin like crazy, and after some sparks, following a flash of lightning, I turned completely black. At Josh's night, under the old woman's admiring gaze, I gave him a sweet kiss. Then, with a confident stride, I walked towards that rusty steel door, indifferent to everything. She excitedly whistled, clearly dumbfounded by my beauty. At this moment, I was glistening in my dark brilliance, forcefully telling her to stop praising me, and without hesitation, she let this irresistible enchantress in.